Breaking Dawn by Stephanie Meyer. Chapter 3. Big Day. My own eyes flew open. I lay shivering and gasping in my warm bed for several minutes, trying to break free of the dream. The sky outside, my window turned grey and then pale pink while I waited for my heart to slow. When I was fully back to the reality of my messy familiar room, I was a little annoyed with myself. What a dream to have the night before my wedding. That's what I got for obsessing over disturbing stories in the middle of the night. Eager to shake off the nightmare, I got dressed and then headed down to the kitchen long before I needed to. First I cleaned the already tidy rooms, and then when Charlie was up I made him pancakes. I was much too keyed up to have any interest in breakfast myself. I sat bouncing in my seat while he ate. "You're picking Mr. Weber up at 3 o'clock, I reminded him. I don't have much to do today besides bring the minister bells. I do not like to forget my only job. Charlie had taken the entire day off for the wedding, and he was definitely at loose ends. Now and then his eyes flickered furtively to the closet under the stairs where he kept his fishing gear. It's not your only job. You also have to be dressed and presentable. He scowled into his surrey roll and muttered the words monkey suit under his breath. There was a brisk tapping on the front door. You think you have it bad, I said, grimacing as I rose. Alice will be working on me all day long. Charlie nodded thoughtfully, conceding that I did have the lesser ordeal. I ducked in to kiss the top of his head as I passed. He blushed and harumphed, and then continued to get the door for my best girlfriend and soon-to-be sister. Alice's short black hair was not in its usual spiky do. It was smoothed into sleek pin curls around her pixie face, which wore a contrastingly business-like expression. She dragged me from the house with a barely "Hi, Charlie," called over her shoulder. Alice appraised me as I got into her Porsche. "Oh, hell, look at your eyes," she tsked in reproach. "What did you do? Stay up all night?" "Almost," she glowered. I've only allotted so much time to make you stunning, Bella. You might have taken better care of my raw material. No one expects me to be stunning. I think the bigger problem is that I might fall asleep during the ceremony and not be able to say I do at the right part, and that Edward will make his escape." She laughed. "I'll throw my bouquet at you when it gets close." "Thanks. At least you'll have plenty of time to sleep on the plane tomorrow." I raised one eyebrow. "Tomorrow," amused. "If we were heading out tonight after the reception, we would still be on the plane tomorrow." "Well, we weren't going to Boise, Idaho. Edward hasn't dropped a single hint. I wasn't too stressed about the mystery, but it was strange not knowing where I'd be sleeping tomorrow night, or hopefully not sleeping." Alice realised that she'd given something away, and she'd frowned. "You're all packed and ready," she said to distract me. It worked. "Alice, I wish you would let me pack my own things." "It would have given too much away, and denied you an opportunity to shop. You'll be my sister officially in 10 short hours. It's about time to get us aversion to new clothes." I glowered groggily out the windshield until we were almost at the house. "Is he back yet?" I asked. "Don't worry, he'll be there before the music starts, but you don't get to see him no matter when he gets back. We're doing this the traditional way." I snorted. "Traditional?" "Okay, aside from the bride and groom. You know he's already peaked." "Oh no, that's why I'm the only one who's seen you in the dress. I've been very careful not to think about it when he's around." "Well," I said as we turned into the drive, I see you got to reuse your graduation decorations." 3 miles of drive were once again wrapped in hundreds and thousands of twinkle lights. This time she'd added white satin bows. "Waste not, want not. Enjoy this, because you don't get to see the inside decorations until it's time." She pulled into the big cavernous garage north of the main house. Emmett's big Jeep was still gone. "Since when is the bride not allowed to see the decorations?" I protested. "Since she put me in charge. I want you to get the full impact coming down the stairs." She clapped her hand over my eyes before she let me inside the kitchen. I was immediately assailed with a scent. "What is that?" I wondered as she guided me into the house. "Is it too much?" Alice's voice was abruptly worried. "You're the first human in here. I hope I got it right." "It smells wonderful," I assured her. "Almost intoxicating, but not at all overwhelming. The balance of different fragrances was subtle and flawless. Orange blossoms, lilac, and something else. Am I right?" "Very good, Bella. You only missed a free show in the roses." She didn't uncover my eyes until we were in her oversized bathroom. I stared at the long counter, covered in all the paraphernalia of a beauty salon, and began to feel my sleepless night. "Is this really necessary? I'm going to look plain next to him, no matter what." She pushed me down into a low pink chair. "No one will dare to call you plain when I'm through with you." "Only because they're afraid you'll suck their blood," I muttered, and I leaned back in the chair and closed my eyes, hoping I'd be able to nap through it. I did drift in and out a little bit while she masked, buffed and polished every surface of my body. It was after lunchtime when Rosalie glided past the bathroom in a shimmery silver gown, with her golden hair piled up in a soft crown on top of her head. She was so beautiful it made me want to cry. What was even the point of dressing up with Rosalie around? "They're back," Rosalie said, and immediately with my childish fit of despair passed. Edward was home. "Keep him out of here. He won't cost you today," Rosalie reassured her. "He values his life too much. Esmond's got them finishing things up back. Do you want some help? I could do her hair." My jaw fell open. I floundered around in my head, trying to remember how to close it. I had never been to Rosalie's favourite person in the world. Then, making things even more strange between us, she was personally offended by the choice I was making now. Though she had her impossible beauty, her loving family, and her soulmate Emmett, she would have treated it all to be human. And here I was, callously throwing away everything she wanted in life like it was garbage. I didn't exactly warm her to me. "Sure," Alice said easily. "You can start braiding. I want it intricate. The veil goes here underneath." Her hands started combing through my hair, hefting it, twisting it, illustrating in detail what she wanted. When she was done, Rosalie's hands replaced hers, shaping my hair with a feather-like touch. Alice moved back to my face. Once Rosalie received Alice's commendation on my hair, she was sent off to retrieve my dress and then to locate Jasper, who had been dispatched to pick up my mother and her husband, Phil, from their hotel. Downstairs I could faintly hear the door opening and closing over and over. Voices began to float up to us. Alice made me stand so she could ease the dress over my hair and makeup. My knees shook so badly as she fastened the long line of pearl buttons up my back that the satin quivered in little wavelets down to the floor. "Deep breaths, Bella," Alice said, "and try to lower your heart rate. You're going to sweat off your new face." I gave her the best sarcastic expression I could manage. "I'll get right on that. I have to get dressed now. Could you hold yourself together for 2 minutes?" Maybe." She rolled her eyes and darted out the door. I concentrating on my breathing, counting each movement of my lungs, and stared at the patterns that the bathroom light made on my shiny fabric of my skirt. I was afraid to look in the mirror, afraid the image of myself in the wedding dress would send me over the edge into full-scale panic attack. Alice was back before I'd taken 200 breaths in a dress that flowed down her slender body like a silvery waterfall. "Alice, wow." "It's nothing. No one will be looking at me today. Not while you're in the room. Ha ha. Now, are you in control of yourself, or do I have to bring Jasper up here?" "They're back. Is my mum here?" She just walked in the door. She's on her way up. Renee had flown in 2 days ago, and I spent every minute I could with her. Every minute that I could pry her away from Esme and the decorations, in other words. As far as I could tell, she was having more fun with this than a kid looked inside Disneyland overnight. In a way, I felt almost as cheated as Charlie. All that wasted terror over her reaction.